So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this lecture. We are into fourth lecture on rotation, and we were dealing with torque. And in this class, we would be dealing with equilibrium. We have dealt with torque. We have seen what is the torque. We have seen what is the torque of a force about a point. The torque of a force about a point is given by R cross F, and whenever we are talking about a point, it is actually not about a point, it is about an axis passing through the point and perpendicular to both R and F. If the torque is zero about a point, it will be zero about all the axes which passes through the point.
Yes, sir.
And we had seen the torque of a force about an axis. We had seen that if the axis is parallel, it is zero. If the axis is perpendicular, it is also zero. The only way you can have a torque is when the lines are skewed. And in that case, it is R perpendicular multiplied by F. It basically means the component of the torque which lies along that axis. We had seen couple, and we had seen that when a couple is acting on a body, the net force acting on the body is zero, but the torque is not zero. And how much is the torque created by the couple? The torque created by couple is F, one of the forces, multiplied by the distance between the two forces. And then we had seen the concept of equilibrium, and that is what we are going to start our proceedings with. Equilibrium, wrong color. Equilibrium. Now what do you mean by equilibrium? Now we have seen the two types of motion of a body. The motion can be translational, the motion can be rotational. So when I say a body is in equilibrium, it has to be in two types of equilibrium. It has to be in translational equilibrium,
And also rotation.
and it must also be in rotational equilibrium. Now when I say translational equilibrium, the net force, we have done this before, the net force acting on the body must be zero. We have done question on this in Newton laws of motion, where we resolve forces along x and y. Force along x should be equal to force along positive x should be equal to force along negative x. Upward force should be equal to downward force. So this must be there. Then again, the torque, net torque should be zero, and we had seen that if net force is zero, net torque should be zero about any point. So you can find this net torque about any point. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
About any point in the universe, and we can choose suitable points so that we can get the answer quickly. So without wasting any more time, let us solve some questions based on this, one or two, and then we can move ahead. And this is the first question, and most of the question will be like this. So I'll give you a couple of questions to move ahead, and this is the first question that we are going to deal with. Two small kids weighing 10 kg and 15 kg are trying to balance a seesaw. The total length of the seesaw is 5 meter, and the fulcrum of the seesaw is at the center. If one of the kids is sitting at the end, where should the other kid sit? One of the kids. Now tell me, which kid should sit at the end? 10 kg or 15 kg? So think about it. This is not a question of physics. This is a question of common sense, because kids will have common sense where they want to sit. The heavier one, he knows where to sit. The lighter one, he knows where to sit. There's no physics involved. It is common sense. So find out the answer. You have 2 minutes to do it. Remember, the system is in equilibrium. It is not set, but you must understand it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm waiting for your answers.
Sir,
Yes.
1.67 from the end, sir. 15 kgs. From center, sorry.
I have an answer. 1 point?
6.7.
Yes, 1.7 or 1.67 meters from
From
the
center.
center. That is correct.
Yes,
How
sir.
did we do this? Common sense, sir. Tell me your common sense. Yes.
Sir, we should consider that one kid who is sitting at one end is 10 kg boy,
Okay.
because we can't balance 15 kg boy by 10 kg boy. And after that, doing net force equals to 0 or net torque equals to 0, we can get that distance. Sorry, net torque equals to 0, we can get that along net torque along flucum center is equals to 0, we can get the answer, sir.
Okay. That looks good. So basically what we got to do is we got to draw the free body diagrams, right?
Yes, sir.
This is, let us say 10 kg block. So this is 100 Newton. And this is, let us say, the 15 kg block. So this is 150 Newton.
150 Newton.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
are there any more forces here? Only two forces.
Normal force due to that flucum center.
So there will be a force coming from here,
Yes, sir.
from the fulcrum, normal reaction N. Anything else? One would be the weight of the fulcrum, mg. We don't know the mass. There are other forces as well. Normal reaction N1 from here, normal reaction N2 from here. So many forces. How will you find out? How will you find out the equation? Now the best way to solve this question, if you take boy as one system, N1 will come. But if you take boy and fulcrum as one system, this N1 would be cancelled by the normal reaction from boy. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if I take the boy and the fulcrum as one system, these are the only external forces acting on this system. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now the problem is, I don't know the weight of this. I don't know the weight of this fulcrum. It is not given. It is massless. It may be massless. I don't know the weight of this fulcrum. I don't know the value of this normal reaction. Now, if I assume that the weight of the fulcrum, now there might be a question where the weight of the fulcrum is given. If I assume that the weight of the fulcrum is not there and the fulcrum is massless, even then I have a normal reaction here. So how do I make the equations? Let us assume that the weight of fulcrum is not there, not given. It is weightless. So how do I make this system? Now this entire system, the system of this fulcrum and the boys is in equilibrium. So the net force must be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
F net must be 0 for translational equilibrium. I'm telling you the exact procedure. So sometimes you may have to do this, sometimes you may not have to do this. Net force is 0. From there, you can get the equation. What equation you will get? The normal reaction coming from the fulcrum would be equal to 250 newtons. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is not asked in this question, but there could be a question where they ask this. Now you have to find out, you already know this distance. He is sitting at the end, so this is 2.5. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You have to find out this distance x. Now, since this system is in equilibrium, force net is 0. You can take torque, or we call it moment of force about any point, and you will get your answer. Now, since this normal reaction is not asked, you may not have to find it. Now you have to find a suitable point where you don't have to use this normal reaction. Now what is that suitable point? If I find the torque about the center of this fulcrum, the torque due to normal reaction will be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And that is why we choose such a point where one of the forces ka torque becomes 0, so that force will not come in the picture. So even without finding out the value of normal reaction, you can find out the value of x. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So when I take the torque about this point O, which is the center of the fulcrum, the torque due to N will cancel. I don't have to take that. So that is gone. Now I will take the torque. Because of this force, it will try to move like this, turn like this. This force will turn it like this. Yes or no? In the
Yes, sir.
anti-clockwise sense. This force will turn it like this in the clockwise sense. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Going to turn it like this. This is going to turn it like this. So this turning should be equal to this turning. Otherwise, it will turn. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means the torque due to 100 Newton force is how much? It is in the anti-clockwise sense. So 100 multiplied by 2.5, that should be equal to the clockwise sense wala torque. Clockwise sense wala torque is 150 times x. So your x becomes 100. Oh, it becomes 25 divided by 15. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is the answer, 5 by 3. Huh? Have I done it correctly?
Yes, sir.
5 by 3 is the answer. 1.67. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So I have told you the entire process. Now you have to be smart enough to choose such a point where your some unknown forces get cancelled, and that will help you in getting the answers quickly. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Here comes the next question. And remember, you have to be smart enough to do it as quickly as possible in the shortest possible time. Remember, JEE Main is 100% test of your speed. JEE Advanced is 70 to 80, sometimes 90% a test of your speed. You have to do things quicker. And this is the question number 2. Whatever is there in the question is already there. A uniform rod of 20 kg is hanging in the horizontal position with the help of 2 threads. It also supports a 40 kg mass as shown in the figure. Find the tension developed in each thread. Take it. You have 2 minutes to give you an answer. Remember, it's not mentioned, but this system has to be in equilibrium. I hope you understand this. Yes or no? No, yes.
Yes, sir.
You have 2 minutes to find out the answer. I've told you everything that you needed to know. Yes. Yes, but any answers?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Well, if you are taking it so long, I'm sure you are on the wrong track. Should not have taken so long. Why it has taken so long? What's the problem that you are facing? Can you tell me what is the problem that you are facing? I can help you out with that. Yes? Huh?
Sir, is it 150, 450 and 400, sir?
Huh?
450. Sorry. 150 and 450, sir.
200 and 400 is the answer.
अच्छा మనకు 400 వచ్చింది కదా 150 వచ్చింది ఓకే
No good, my dear friend, no good. This is no good. Anyways, again, I'm taking this rod and the block as one system. If I take this rod and the block as one system, this is T1, this is T2.
yes sir
The tension in this string, the yellow string or the pink string, will be an internal force, so they will cancel each other out. So the only other external force that remains is 400 newtons. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Apart from this, there is the weight of this thing, which is 200 newtons. Do we understand? It has gone above our head saying bye-bye. So the first equation that, I don't have to make the first equation, even I can just get the answer from one equation. I can write the torque of the force about this point A. All the forces about point A. And torque about point A should be 0. That will give you the value of T2. How long should you have taken to multiply and divide something? I can do it orally. 400 into L by 4 plus 200 into L by 2. That will be equal to T2 into L. L say L will cancel. This is 100. That is 100. T2 is 200. I am a person of 42 years of age whose mind has deteriorated to maybe 1% of what I was at your age. I can do it orally without using a pen. You had pen, pencil, copy, rubber, everything, and 5 minutes, and you end up with 150. You should have done better, yes or no? Do we understand this, or this has gone above it saying bye bye? Bye bye, don't worry about me, I'm gone. You understand this? Once you get the value of T2 as 200 newtons, you should get the value of T1 as 400 newtons. Yes or no? Chalo, I'll give you one more chance. I always feel that students are like cash vouchers. Sometimes these cash vouchers may not work, but they can always get a chance to redeem. And this is the chance for your redemption, Shawshank redemption, student redemption. Remember, I'm only taking the popular questions which are popular with the examination authorities. And this is one of the popular questions. A uniform ladder node diagram is given. So you'll have to manage it. A uniform ladder of mass 10 kg leans against a smooth vertical wall, making an angle of 53 with it. The other end rests on a rough floor. Rough. Find the normal force and reaction force. Reaction force, normal force and friction force at the floor exerts on the ladder. Floor. We have wall. Let's see, you don't hit a wall. And I hope you can get an answer from somewhere. Question number 2. Your time, good or bad, starts now. Good if you get the answer. Bad if you don't get it, and you will have to listen to all those psychological and philosophical things from me. And I would be praising myself because I would be able to do this. So I would be praising myself and I would be cursing you. Hey, this, hey, that. So it is good time for me and bad time for you. Or it is good time for you and good time for me. Because if you get the answer, I will be happy, you will be happy. If you don't get the answer, I will be happy because I can do it, but you will be sad. 2 minutes you have. Do it patiently. Take a deep breath and then do it. It is a simple question. We have got the answer also. Well done. No, yeah. Preparing the mic. Why have you become mechanic without getting into an IIT? You've already become electrical engineers, but you don't have a degree. Engineers without degree. Chalo, do it fast. Yes, my dear friends, do we have anything that looks like an answer? Feels like one, sounds like one. Coming, sir. Answer is coming on the way.
Yes, sir.
I hope it is moving fast and not resting somewhere. Answer is tired. I'm sitting somewhere, chilling out, having a coke and samosas on the way. I'm waiting patiently, but my patience will run out eventually. There is a very famous song. I mean, from an era where obviously I was also not born. My father was probably there. probably of your age. The song goes like this: हम इंतजार करेंगे तेरा कयामत तक, खुदा करे कि कयामत हो और तू आए. So I'll wait for your answer till Kayamat. I hope that Kayamat comes. Before that Kayamat, your answer should come. Is Kayamat coming or answer coming?
Answer coming, sir.
Answer coming. Answer processing. There was a point in time when when you open some website, it used to good, waiting, good, waiting. That good is there. Your processor is gone slow. Too much good. Chalo, just to make things faster, I will show you the diagram so that at least you can move fast. Because with your speed, I probably will have 2 or 3 Kayamats coming, but your answer still will not come. So I want it before this Kayamat. So this is the diagram. And I hope the answer will come now. If the diagram was wrong, then the process starts again.
No, sir. Diagram is correct only, sir.
The correct only is then the diagram is 95% of the question. Dear, after that, a 42-year-old man can do it orally. A 42-year-old man can do it orally after the diagram, which is me. खुदा करे कि कयामत हो.
No, any came is coming.
I think Kayamat has come, but the answer has still not come. Sir, let Kayamat come. We are not worried about the Kayamat. Answer is in the process of coming. One more minute. My patience has run out. Big time. Don't be scared. Give me the answer. What will happen? I will just say some funny things. What difference does it make? Yes. Okay. So how are I supposed to do this? This is the diagram that I have drawn. The diagram looks good. From this diagram, you can understand. Looking at the horizontal forces, this one is one horizontal force. This one is the second horizontal force. So I must understand that the frictional force, which is static in nature, you cannot find out the value of static friction unless and until you know something else. The static friction would be equal to N1. And we look at this gentleman, ding, 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 and you look at this gentleman, ding, 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 ding. Then you understand that this W is equal to N2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What, sir? Then after this, it is, I'll do it orally. Just for the sake of proving a point, I'll do it orally. I will take torque about this point. When I take torque about this point, N2 and F, say bye-bye. N2 and F, say bye-bye. So N1 multiplied by this distance. How much is this distance? Huh? This is L. So this is L cos theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Cos 53. How much is cos 53? 3 by 5. So this is 3 by 5L. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That must be equal to W multiplied by this distance. How much is this distance? That was that was cos 53. So this must be sin 53 into L by 2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. L by 2.
That's it, my dear friends. You just had to equate this. This is going to create, this one is going to create this torque. This one is going to create this torque. Both the torque must be equal. That means W into L by 2 into 4 by 5 must be equal to N1 into 3 by 5L. From here, you will get the value of N1, and N1 is equal to F. N2 is already equal to weight. Problem solved. Why you were taking so long? Eh? Why were you taking it so long? What is the problem? Tell me. Tell me, what were you doing? Were you doing anything different? Or you were not able to find out the value of sine 53 and cos 53? Or you had forgotten this is perpendicular, this is base, this is hypotenuse? Tell me what was the problem so that I understand, because this is not a question where you should have taken centuries to solve it. No, this was not the question. Yes, beta. What happened? What? Tell me.
We forgot the values of cos 53 and sine.
Okay. Chalo, koi baat nahi. I hope you remember it now.
Yes, sir.
Chalo. It looks like a legitimate reason. Though I don't agree with it, but still, I will give you the benefit of doubt. Give you the benefit of doubt that you would have forgotten this. Anyways, this is the next question, and I don't want to hear any, what should I say? Any reasons for not getting this answer. So here comes the question, my dear friends. Again, I'm taking popular questions, popular choice awards. We are playing popular questions, popular with exams. Question number 4, I have forgotten the name. Number. A 10 kg uniform rod OA is pivoted at point O on a vertical wall with the help of a cable AB. Find the tension in the cable and the reaction force applied by the pivot. Let's see who gets me this one. You have 2 minutes to show me your talents, else I will show mine. My talent are not so good. And if you don't get the answer, again I will praise myself. And I've done enough of my praising for today. So I hope that I am not given the chance to praise myself and my ability to solve the question orally, and that you would be able to do it before I can praise and put all these huge buildings of praise for myself. 2 minutes you have. And this is probably the most difficult question that can come or you can do in the examination hall.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, tension is 100 Newton and reaction force is 50√3, sir.
Tension is
100 Newton.
100 Newton. Yes.
And reaction force is 50√3.
50√3 is not correct. Tan, tan. 50√3 is not correct. Okay. Let us draw the free body diagram of this rod. Okay. Now, what are there in the free body diagram of this rod? There is tension T like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
There is a weight W like this. Anything else? Anything else?
Normal force.
No. It's a hinge. It's a hinge. In which direction does the hinge give force? It depends on what the other forces are there. Now this rod is this string is like this. So actually, you must understand something. This is in equilibrium. We understand this? No. If this is in equilibrium, you can understand that the force should be 0 and torque should be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I resolve this tension, this will be T sine 30,
Yes, sir.
and this would be T cos 30. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now remember, the net force on the rod should be 0. Did you think? Did you see? Who is going to balance this T cos 30? Did you think about that? Yes or no? You thought about it? So this has to be balanced by whom? This has to be balanced by this reaction from this. So this reaction would have an X component. And this reaction ka X component, because no one can give it this T cos theta, this reaction ka X component will be T cos theta, T cos 30. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Then we have this reaction ka Y component. Right? Now, you know this reaction ka Y component plus T sine 30 would be equal to the weight. Do we understand this? This is the equation along the Y axis. We understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now you have to just find the value of T. Now you can choose a suitable point about which you can take torque and get the value of T. And the most suitable point is this point O. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because if you find torque about this point O, the reaction vanishes. So finding out the torque about this point O. Who is creating torque about this point O? This T sine 30 is creating torque like this, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And this weight is creating torque like this, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
T cos 30 cannot create a torque because it passes through that point, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So from there you can get the value of T. What is the value of T you are getting?
100 Newton.
T will be equal to W, which is equal to 100, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So your reaction curve Y component. What is your reaction curve Y component?
25, sir.
25. How is it 25 reaction curve?
No, sir.
Reaction curve Y component will be coming as 50 newtons, yes or no?
Huh? 50 is equal to 100. 50.
Got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Remember, you may not get this question in JEE Main, but you may get this question in JEE Advanced. It requires some calculation at least. Some calculation. Not much, but some. Do you understand this, or is it gone about at saying bye bye, I'm going, don't worry about me?
We got it, sir.
Okay. Now this is one of the very famous question. It has come in JEE many times. I think it came in JEE 2 years back, back in JEE Advanced. The only difference is it was not on a horizontal surface. It was on I think inclined surface, but the concept remains same. The concept of the question remains same. So this is the question and this is the language of the question. A cylinder of radius r and weight w is to be raised again a step of height h by applying horizontal force at the center as shown in the figure. Find the minimum magnitude of this force. Assume sufficient friction between the cylinder and the corner to prevent slipping. So you understand that it is going to rotate about this point. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
There is no slipping. It is going to rotate. You have to tell me the value of this F so that the cylinder can be raised on this step. Same question came in JEE. I will have a look. If I can find that question, I will show you that question as well. Yes, bacha. Any answer anyone got? Or shall I do it?
Doing, sir. We are doing.
Should not taken you so long to do this. Shall I help you? Okay. Don't take so much of time. How are you supposed to do this? You're just supposed to draw the free body diagram. This is the weight W. Yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes, sir.
It is going to rotate about this point O. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You just have to find the torque of this force. You call this height as X,
Mm.
and you find this distance. I mean, you call this distance as X, you call this distance as Y. The torque of force F about the point O, which is F into Y, shall be equal to W multiplied by X. Do we understand this? That
Yeah.
is all that you need to do. The torque of the force about the point O and the torque of the weight, if you can balance it out, it will just roll over. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
And you can find out the values. I have the answer. I'll give you the answer. You can check this answer. What is the value of Y?
Hmm?
What is the value of Y?
R minus H, sir.
Y will be equal to R minus H. Well done. What is the value of X? X. Look at this diagram. This is R and this is X. So this X square will be equal to under root of R square minus R minus H ka whole square. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is the value of X. So you put the value of X and you will get the value of Y, W as F as W times root over 2 times RH minus H square divided by R minus H. Do we understand this? Yes or no? So remember, a question comes like this. I found that question. Probably I'll show it to you. I am not able to download it. I don't know, something wrong. This was a similar question. It was in JEE advanced paper. Okay, I'll show it to you. Where was that? JEE advance of 2020, that question came. Similar question. I'll just show it to you. So this was a question in the JEE, and actually it was question number 1 in the paper. This I've just taken from the JEE website. And this was a question. As you can see, this question is the exact replica of the question. The only thing is it is on the inclined plane. You just had to balance the torque. Just kept on the inclined plane, nothing else. The difference between this question and this is it's kept on an inclined plane. Okay, you understand this? So the
Yes.
concept remains exactly same. The concept does not change. The ball should not start rolling, so the torques must be equal. It will not start rolling. It will not just topple. Do you understand this? In the first question, we had to find out how much force we should apply to topple. Here we have to find the maximum angle so that it does not topple. Do we understand this? The same thing asked in a different way. You got this? If you keep on increasing the angle, it will start to roll down. You just have to equate the torques. We understand this?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Okay. Remember, the same exact question may not come, but the concept remains same. That takes us to the next topic, and we'll finish this one. I thought that I will finish it at the end of the chapter, but since time has come, I will end it. I will start and end it here because this is the time that we can do it. Toppling is the topic. Toppling. Toppling is the topic. Do you understand the meaning of toppling? Do you understand the meaning of toppling? Anyone? Toppling. Anyone has heard this word toppling?
No, sir.
Nah? Yes or no? There are only two answers.
No. Not getting.
Okay. Now what happens when you have a block like this kept on a surface? This is the surface. It's kept on a surface. If you apply a force, even a very small force here, what will happen? It will start to rotate about this point. Yes or no? It will start to rotate about this point and go like this. This condition is known as
Toppling.
toppling.
Okay, sir.
Things have toppled, rotated about this end. This is known as toppling. So the box will rotate about this point. If you apply a big enough force, the box will rotate about this point. It will fall down. That is known as toppling.
Okay, sir.
So tipping, if a force is applied on the block, it tips. It tips. This tipping of block is known as toppling. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
It will rotate about this point. You can basically it will start to rotate about this point. It will start to rotate about this point. Same way as your sphere was rotating about that point of contact, this also starts to rotate about the point of contact and it falls. This is known as toppling. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now, how does this topple and how do we understand this toppling? So I'll make you understand with the help of a few diagrams that I'm getting. See, when you have no force applied, you kept the block like this. B is the height of the block and A is the width of the block. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
When there is no force applied, what happens? Your normal reaction N from the ground and your weight, they are along the same line. Do you see this? They are along the same line. So basically what happens is the net force is 0 and there is also no net torque because what? They are along the same line. Force is 0, torque is 0. It just remains like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I start to apply any force, whether I apply it at any point, if I apply any force on this body, then what will happen? If I start to apply any force in the horizontal direction, it may be at the center of mass, it may not be at the center of mass. Then what will happen? Now here they have assumed that there is friction on ground. There may be friction on ground, there may not be friction on ground. Now, if there is no friction on ground, what will happen is that if there is no friction on ground, then what will happen is this block will just slide if there is no friction. But if there is friction on ground, You can see there is friction on ground. Then what happens if you apply any force? If you apply any force, two things can happen. It can slide or it can topple. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
What will happen first? That is, we are going to see. But as soon as you apply this force, as soon as you apply this force F here, as soon as you apply this force F here, this force F starts to create a torque about the point D. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It will try to rotate it like this.
Yes, sir.
That means someone has to give a torque in the opposite direction so that this block does not topple. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, how this torque is produced? There is no way to produce this torque. So what happens? This normal reaction understands that I have to do something about it. So what this normal reaction does, this normal reaction starts to shift. Now what happens when this normal reaction starts to shift? The torque due to normal reaction becomes less and less, and it is less than the weight of the body, the torque produced by the weight. So basically what is happening here is this weight is trying to balance out this torque that is created by the force. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This weight will ask normal reaction, you shift here because I have to balance the torque. So it will ask the normal reaction, shift, and the normal reaction will keep on shifting. If you increase the force, normal reaction will keep on shifting. If you increase the force, normal reaction will keep on shifting. But there will be a stage where the normal reaction reaches its maximum point. When I say maximum point, what do I mean by this maximum point? It reaches the edge. It reaches the edge. It cannot increase infinitely. It can only go till the edge. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the weight is asking normal reaction to shift. The normal reaction is saying, okay, I'm shifting, but I can't shift any further than the, but the normal reaction cannot shift any further than the edge. So in the last case, the normal reaction comes at the edge. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
Now the normal reaction cannot shift any further. If the force is made more than now, if you increase the force more than this value now, the block will start to topple. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So what is the condition of toppling?
What is that?
Condition of toppling. If I call this distance as x, let us say, if I call this distance as x, you may not apply this force at the center of mass. You can apply it at any point x. What is the condition of toppling? What is the condition of toppling? What is the condition of toppling? The condition of toppling is F into x, the torque which is produced by this force must become equal to the maximum torque of weight. The maximum torque of weight will be mg into a by 2. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
That is your condition of toppling. This is the condition of toppling. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, this force must be less than the static friction. If this force becomes more than the static friction, the body will slide. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the condition of toppling. Got this?
Yes, sir.
Have you noted this down?
Done, sir. I pull it out. 1 minute, sir.
Have you noted it down?
I pull now. Done, sir.
Okay. This is the question. The question is very simple. What should be the value of this force F? It is applied here so that the body can topple. Remember, the body is kept on a smooth surface. What should be the value of F so that the body can topple? What is the condition for the body to topple in this case? What should be the value of F so that the body can topple? And the answer is
It can't topple here, sir, in this
why? Why?
because friction is not there.
As soon as I apply the smallest of force, it will start to slide. It cannot topple. So if you have kept a block on ice and you try to topple it, it will not topple because it will just slide. It becomes very difficult to topple it. Then you will have to stop it using your legs or fan, and then you have to topple it. Do you understand this? Sometimes there is a big almirah and your this mover and shifter come and your floor is smooth. The almirah does not go down, so they then put all types of force to stop the almirah from sliding, and then they try to bring it down. Do we understand this? Or this is going about saying bye 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 bye? I'm going. Don't worry about me.
We got it, sir.
That is the condition of toppling. For topple, friction must be there, else it cannot topple. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's just move on to the next question. Here in this question, you have to assume that the friction is sufficient. Can you now tell me what is the minimum force required to topple this block? What is the minimum force required to topple this block? Friction is sufficient. I'll give you a question where friction also will come. In this question, the friction is sufficient. What is the condition of sliding? What is the condition of toppling here?
Sir, it's mga by 2b.
Mga by 2b, and that is absolutely correct. If you have to topple, you have to find out the torque force will create this torque, and the weight will create, and the weight will create the torque in the opposite sense. If they equate, then the body will topple. So the condition of toppling is F into B should be equal to mg into A by 2. So your F becomes mg A by 2B. Do we understand this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'll give you one last question on this. You can take it as a uniform cylinder.
Done, sir.
Have you done this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Shall I give you the next question?
Yes, sir.
This is the next one. And here we have to find both the condition. A uniform cylinder of height h and radius r is placed or with a circular face on a rough inclined plane, and the inclination of the plane is gradually increased. Wah, 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 wah. If mu is the coefficient of friction, then under what condition the cylinder will slide before toppling, topple before sliding? Both the things are given. Let's see who can apply his brain and common sense and give me the answer. You have 2 minutes exactly. This is 10:54. 10:56 is the time, cutoff time, and then I shall show you my talent. Yes, my dear friends, anyone, any answer? 2 minutes have passed. Huh?
1 minute, sir.
Okay. Well, to help you out, I have drawn my diagram. So I hope that in that 1 minute that you have asked, you can use this diagram, tell me the answer, and stay happy. The diagram though is not a part of the question. You have to draw the diagram. And once you draw the diagram, the question is solved. Okay. So how are you supposed to do this? Please have a look. Why is this block going to topple? Because if I resolve this force along this direction, mg sine theta.
Sine theta.
Because of this mg sine theta, it is going to topple. Yes or no? It is trying to bring it down.
Yes.
Which is trying to save it from toppling. It's this component mg cos theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you understand this, then the rest of the question is just simple solution. Now, when will this slide? Remember that angle of, I told you about that. If you keep a block on an inclined surface and you increase the angle, at one particular angle, the block begins to slide. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What was that angle known as?
Angle of repose.
Angle of repose, right? So if this tan theta becomes greater than mu and this angle of repose was equal to mu, tan theta was equal to mu, yes or no?
Yes.
It will start to slide, yes or no?
Hmm.
If this tan theta is greater than mu, it will start to slide, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you find the condition of toppling? To find the condition of toppling, if this mg sine theta into h by 2, which is the thing which is trying to topple it, becomes greater than mg cos theta into r, it will topple, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means if your tan theta is greater than 2r by h, it will topple, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If tan theta is greater than mu, it will slide. If tan theta is greater than 2r by h, it will topple. Now you have to say the condition of sliding before toppling and toppling before sliding. When can it slide before? When will it slide before? It will slide first and then topple. And when will it topple first and slide later? Common sense, no physics. If your mu is now smaller than 2r by h, mu is smaller, that means it will slide first. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If your mu is smaller, that means the floor is smoother, it will slide first. If your mu is greater, it will topple first. Do we understand this?
Sir.
If mu is greater than 2r by h, then it will topple first. If both are equal, then it will slide as well as topple together. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This finishes our discussion on questions on equilibrium. I've covered all the questions that are possible in this universe to come. Nothing can come after this. The only thing that can do these type of questions are more likely to come in JEE Advanced. They will just change the language of the question and nothing else. The next class, that is tomorrow, we will now start to consider those cases when the body is not in equilibrium.
Okay, sir.
It will have some angular acceleration. So we'll start with those questions. I'll see you in the next class tomorrow. Take care. God bless you all. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone has noted this down?
Done, sir.